welcome to a very spooky edition of 545 Live.
Meow.
I'm tonight's host, Roland Boyden, alongside Vlasta Popelka. Maybe she just goes by Cat these days. We're having a little Halloween fun here. The show, of course, our nightly news roundup on BCTV, 545 Live. Vlasta, your first night at the desk. Thanks for joining us here. What do we have going on tonight?
We have snow pummeling for the East Coast, the aftermath of Friday's fire, more VY protests, plenty of Halloween fun, and much more.
And remember, we do it all in 15 minutes, so stick with us. Welcome back to 545 Live. That's footage from Saturday's storm that dropped up to 30 inches of snow on the Northeast this weekend, leaving over 3 million people without power. Now, the state of Connecticut has suffered damages that some are projecting could surpass their share of Irene's desecration. Trees and power lines were down all over Windham County, with crews for CBPS continuing to work throughout much of the day, and we've got some footage here we're showing you as well from after the storm. Quite a lot of snow, Vlasta, really something to see as well. There's one of my favorite shots. All right, well, let's see, we've got plenty more things to go over here, but first let's just wish everybody here a happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, we're all dressed in costume. I don't have my whip with me, but enjoying ourselves here on Halloween. Hope you all out there are as well. We'll talk more Halloween things during our calendar. So there you go. All right, moving on next. Last week's fire that drove over 70 local residents from the Sam Elliott high-rise in downtown early Friday morning has claimed the life of 76-year-old Muriel Beverly Franklin, after what the Brattleboro Fire Department is reporting as her improper use of smoking materials set her room ablaze. 2 other residents were transported to BMH, where they were treated for smoke inhalation and minor respiratory damage and released later that same day. Our senior news correspondent, Joe Bushy, was on the scene. So if any of you missed all of our coverage from last week, here's the breakdown.
I tried to take the door and I couldn't.
About 5:20, 5:30, the fire department responded to a box alarm at the Samuel Elliott high-rise. The fire was contained to the one unit where we believe it started. One person was transported to Brattleboro Memorial Hospital.
We set up here at the Gibson-Aiken Center for all the residents. There's about 70 of them that have been evacuated from that building until they determine when they can go back inside.
Next, this weekend, Safe and Green held their countdown to closure protest outside Vermont Yankees' Vernon offices. Among the impassioned speakers was award-winning documentary filmmaker Kaiko Kokobun.
The government is planning to spend $1 billion tax dollars to decontaminate Fukushima. Yet, not much has been done after 7 months because nobody has an answer. Where do we put contaminated soil and sludge? Nobody wants it, and it has to go somewhere.
Next, this Saturday, Windham County again participated in the DEA's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. We talked to Brattleboro Police Detective Lieutenant Mike Carrier, who was manning the downtown drop-off site in this very municipal center.
We're working to allow individuals within the communities that they live in to get rid of unused medication or expired medication, and then in turn it is turned over to the DEA, and they dispose of it accordingly. In the past, people would put it down the toilet, get into the water system, so on and so forth, which is, of course, is not a good thing. So this just gives an opportunity to dispose of it properly.
Your expired prescription drugs can pose a danger to you and certainly to others should they fall into the wrong hands. Keeping your house a drug-free zone includes expunging it of any unused prescriptions, and while flushing them or putting them into the trash in the kitchen are an appropriate means of disposal, you can contact your local pharmacy to see if they accept expired medication or lock them away until the spring when the DEA will again truck away your aging pills. All right. Next, we touched on this weekend's wild weather, but as weather is wont to do, it just keeps on coming. So we'll get the weather today provided by the students of Brattleboro Union High School's Morning News Advisory Broadcast Class, BUHS TV.
Happy Halloween, everyone. I foresee partly sunny skies today. Well, Let's hope. I mean, I'm just the messenger, people. High of 46. Wait, wrong side. Low of 30. Tomorrow, high of 50, low of 28, rainy. Hey, perfect for November 1st. Happy Halloween, guys. Back to the desk.
You can catch the complete broadcast of BUHS TV, which includes some of my favorite things like their This Day in History, but of course all the local sports you can handle. And if you're a parent of a BUHS student, they go over all the advisories and bulletins there as well. And this one in particular is very spooky, Vlasta, so very cool. It comes up at 6:30 tonight, the rebroadcast, and of course it's live weekdays, excluding Wednesday, at 10:15 on Channel 10. Quite a program. All right, Vlasta, what's next?
Usually Friday is our day to pump some cute animals into the rotation, but due to the constraint last week, we had to push our animal adoption option today. So with that intro, we'll jump right into our Windham County Humane Society produced feature, Meet Our Dogs.
This is CJ. She is about 1.5 years old, and she is a Chihuahua Beagle mix. She is looking for a loving new home. She loves attention, and she wants you to come visit and make her your new family member. This is CJ.
So if you think you might be interested in CJ, be sure to check that out. But before you head down Route 30 to the Humane Society's 916 West River Road offices, be sure to confirm with them that the pet in question is still available. You can find out more at wchs4pets.org, 4 in the numerical sense there. Or you can call their phone number 802-254-2232. And lastly, is this me? This is me. And lastly, it's time to get spooky with a look at footage from BCTV's fall round of video workshops. The piece entitled EVOM had the finishing touches put on it last week during our vlogging and video uploading workshop. Let's take a look.
In a world where the natural and supernatural collide, two investigative journalists will risk their lives to capture the unthinkable on film. But will it make them famous or destroy their lives forever?
Aren't you afraid?
I'm more afraid to fail.
They haven't had the cleaning lady around in a while.
Get out!
Frederick Noyes, Roland Holt, Eva. In theaters Friday.
Well, if you want a hand in making something like that, Vlasta, a part of our series of fall classes, they are wrapping up, but there's still one more class that you can grab coming up November 10th. DVD authoring, taught by yours truly. We'll talk about compression techniques, file formats, advanced menu uses, subtitling, additional audio tracks, and all the other things that go along with producing a slicktastic DVD. If you want to find out more about trainings, now our fall session has come to an end, but we'll be kicking off in the spring, and for people with prior video experience, you can get a flash training with me as well. For information on all that, head to brattleboro.tv.org, and it's very affordable. We can't talk prices here on BCTV as part of our nonprofit channel stipulations, but I'll just mention that you can get incredible video training for the price of a high-end artisan sandwich. All right, and with that, it's time for to head into our calendar. And the dart here is always spooky calendar this week, and I will just start it right off here. Nope, you'll start it off, Vlasta. What do we got going on here?
Today's Kids Place is hosting their spooky, spectacular, all-ages Halloween event fundraiser at the Elliott Street Space below Hotel Pharmacy. That's going on as we speak now and runs up until 7 p.m. So there is still plenty of time to get over there.
Excellent. And if you'd like to participate in the 3rd annual Halloween parade in downtown tonight, head to the Stone Church at 6:45. It's an open call to everyone who wishes to participate. All creative mavens are welcome. Artists and designers, costume makers, musicians, street performers, dancers, drummers, percussionists, circus artists, stilt walkers, burlesques, mimes, and revelers, etc. And those photos you're seeing are from last year's parade and party, courtesy of Richie Richardson. All right, moving on to a post-Halloween world. Hard to imagine that we have to say goodbye to Halloween, Vlasta, but the events keep coming this week, even after Halloween is over. Tomorrow at 4 p.m., Marlborough College will host Amelia Vidal, founder and director of the Fair Trade Knitting Company, La Mia, for a talk entitled Fair Trade and Leadership on the Ground in Bolivia, discussing the group's founding and its mission to help empower women to organize, know their rights, and improve the quality of their and their children's lives. All right, Vlasta, what's next on the calendar?
And this week's first Wednesday's lecture at the Bruce Memorial Library, Dartmouth professor Annelies Orlek reflects on the 1911 fire at the Triangular Shirtwaists factory in Greenwich Village, which killed 146 workers, mostly young immigrant women, and spurred major legal changes. That talk starts at 7 p.m. at the library.
Also on Wednesday at 7 p.m. at the Latches 4 Theater in downtown, there'll be a presentation by award-winning documentary filmmaker Hitomi Kamanaka, who will discuss the issue of nuclear power in Japan and the aftermath of the Fukushima nuclear disaster. All right, that's all we got for our calendar for today, but there's still plenty more going on in the community that we just don't even have time to get to. So if you want to find out more, you can do what I do when I'm compiling this show and head to ibrattlebro.com, where their interactive calendar is updated by individuals and organizations themselves from around the community. Also, if you want to clue us into an event that we may have not read on our channel, then email me, roland@brattleboro.tv.org, ROLAND@brattleboro.tv.org. Not only will we put it on our teleprompter here so we can blab away about your event, but we can try and get a camera down to get you or someone from your organization on camera, putting a face to your event. And with that, it's time for our BCTV Schedule Quick Glance. All right, Vlasta, you've been watching downstairs for a while. I'm sure you know that the Quick Glance is my daily opportunity to shamelessly plug what's coming up here in BCTV on both our Comcast cable channels 8 and 10. I'll start it off here, and then you can help me out by talking about channel 10. All right, I'm starting off with channel 8, this here channel you're watching right now, and we'll start tonight's local Gold Rush off with the Occupy Boston Reenact Glastengal, which starts at 6 p.m., followed up by a 6:05 showing of the 545 Live Extended Special. From my part-time co-host Kim Timlage and longtime 545 Live producer Catherine Turnus, filmed at the Brattleboro Farmers Market. Then, as mentioned, at 6:30 p.m., catch BUHS TV's fantastic Halloween special, and tomorrow on 8, we have an 8:40 showing of the last Transition Putney Lecture on community solar. All right, with that, we'll turn over to our government and education sister channel, Channel 10, and I'll send this one over to you, Vlasta.
On Channel 10, we have a 7:30 p.m. showing of Occupy Burlington coverage from Channel 17, CCTV, followed by an 8:30 p.m. showing of the latest Brattleboro Housing Authority meeting. That includes much discussion of the controversial plans from Melrose Terrace and Hayes Court. We also have tomorrow Vernon Special Select Board meeting at 7 p.m.
Absolutely right. All right, folks, that's a full lid, but before you switch over to NFL Shop, be sure to tune us in Wednesday for our remote broadcast from the Video Educators Technology Expo in Worcester, Massachusetts, where we'll wriggle out all the usuals, the headlines, including the drama we just talked about at Melrose Terrace, along with the calendar, quick glance, and more for BCTV, Vlasta, Popelka, and 545 Live. I'm Roland Boyden. Good night, all.
Good night.